What a lot of people don't know about me is this is actually not my only YouTube channel. I do this thing called faceless YouTube. Another term for it is called YouTube automation, although I don't like that term because there really isn't anything automated about it. But if you're unfamiliar with what faceless YouTube is, it's basically a video and or channel that has videos where there is no face on it. So like, for example, this is a face channel because you see my face, you see me talking, you see me interacting with the camera, with you guys. Faceless channels are where there's like clips in the background and then there's a voiceover over the clips, so you don't see anyone's face or any like interaction from a person. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what faceless YouTube is, but what I will say is that I have monetized multiple channels. I've also surpassed the 1 million views per video in several videos of mine. I think my highest view count for one of my videos is like 7.5 million. And I've also accidentally manifested a play button because of how viral I got a particular channel to go. So my whole point in saying this is just to share that I do feel pretty confident in my ability to manifest virality. Not only that, but I also manifested virality for this channel by accident as well. And I'm going to share a story. It actually has something to do with the points I'm going to bring up in this video. I actually used to be very insecure about how I would go viral. I used to be part of this group of other YouTubers. There was like 1,000 people in there, and I joined the group later than most of them. Most of the people who joined were beginners, and when I joined the group, I had already gotten several channels monetized. I already had my play button. I already surpassed the 1 million view mark. Like, I was pretty secure in my ability to go viral, but everyone kept coming to me and they're like, how do you go viral? How do you go viral? And they were asking all these like logic-based questions like, what title thumbnail combo do you use? How do you come up with ideas? And funny enough, some people would actually criticize my thumbnails and titles. They'd be like, you have way too many words on your thumbnail. It's not simple enough. It's not this. Like, I never really followed the rules of virality, if you know what those rules are. But I want to share with you in this particular video 2 specific skill sets that I feel like I have mastered when it comes to aligning myself to the reality where I have gone viral or my channels have gone viral. And they're very, very simple, almost obvious. So let's get into it. The first thing that I do is I select the reality where I've gone viral. As I mentioned in my how I personally manifest video, the way that I see reality creation is I'm never changing the 3D reality. I'm just changing my own position to the 3D reality in order to see a desired reflection in my physical reality. So I have 4 steps in my process, which is selection, belief, detachment, and integration. But the way that I control my alignment to reality is I see each of these 4 steps, we could say, as a knob on me. And what I'm doing is I'm turning these knobs in order to shift myself in a different position in physical reality. So my first knob is the selection knob, where I actually pick the reality that I want to experience. But here's the catch. Just because you know what you want does not necessarily mean you're selecting the reality in an effective way. It doesn't necessarily matter how you focus on having the reality that you want, but what a lot of people do when it comes to selecting the reality that they want is they tell themselves, they're like, I know what I want. So like in this case, they're like, I know I want to go viral, I want to go viral, I want to go viral, but they're not actually picking the reality where they go viral. They're just picking the reality where they want to go viral, which is current reality basically. So if you're familiar with any type of manifesting process, what they recommend you do is that you focus on having the thing that you want already. And this is through your imagination. It can be through like inner conversations. It can be through visualization, affirmations, does not matter. But whatever you do with your imagination, you want to make sure that it implies that you already have the thing that you want. So in the case of my faceless channels and this particular face channel that I have, what I would do before I started the channels was I would close my eyes and I would visualize the channel. I'd visualize just seeing the channel on my computer screen, like see the channel art, see the name. It was more of a dynamic visualization, and I would see all of these videos that were underneath my channel art and I would see them increasing in number at a rapid pace. Not only that, but I visualize also the subscriber counts going up as well. Even though subscriber count doesn't necessarily mean viral, it just means higher following, it implies to me that people like my videos that I create. And in addition to this, I also visualize and feel happy with my work. And this is just to bring up more satisfaction of the state of the wish fulfilled for me. Like, hey, like this is a good channel. People like the channel. They clearly like the channel because of the numbers. They clearly like the channel because of the subscriber count. They clearly like the videos because I like them. Like, I create this like brief but dynamic scene of the channel doing really well. Not only that, but as I'm selecting the reality that I want to experience, I also remind myself that I believe that this is possible for me. For an effective reflection in your physical reality, you do have to believe in at least the possibility of the thing that you want. And that's it. I never try and believe in the certainty of the thing that I want, or I never try and make myself believe something I don't believe at all. I just believe, hey, this is possible for me. And I have my own specific belief system that helps me believe in the possibility. Like, I believe in an infinite universe. I believe creation is finished, so all I have to do is select the reality I want and I get what I want. But you don't have to use the same belief structure that I use to get to possibility. But the point I want to make with this particular step is just because you know what you want does not mean you are selecting it effectively. You want to make sure that in some way, shape, or form, you're selecting and picking the reality where you already have the thing that you want. And it doesn't matter how you do this, as long as this imaginal thing that you do, affirmations, visualizations, whatever, implies that you already have the thing that you want. And I want to share a story that actually illustrates this point further, and it has to do with this particular channel. When I first decided to create this channel, I wanted it to be more of me. Like, I wasn't necessarily focused on going viral. I just wanted to follow my passion and create a channel where I could basically give advice to my past self of things that I wish I knew. But when I was first starting this channel, I just got to work. And so I like created the channel art, I created my name. I wasn't really focused on going viral per se. And of course at the time I had like 7 subscribers. I uploaded the video and I think it eventually went up to like 11 subscribers. I remember the first 2 or 3 days, like nothing really happened. I would get like maybe a view a day or something like that. Like it didn't flatline, we could say, but it like there weren't views just rolling in. It was about like a week later I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't do my selection work for this particular manifestation. So what I ended up doing was like, I realized it when I was going to bed one night. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let me do my selection process. So I actually fell asleep doing this. I guess you could consider this as sats, but I just envisioned people liking this channel and people enjoying my videos and getting good comments and people watching for the entire video, like that kind of stuff. Like I envisioned it just like I did for my faceless channels. And I kid you not, the next morning, my single video on my channel went viral. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That was actually a really awesome manifestation because I didn't intend for it to happen that quickly. I was just like, I gotta do my selection work for this. And overnight, I hopped into the reality where my channel went viral off of one video. I actually got a question in one of my last videos, and they were like, what do you mean by like quick results? I'm like this. That was a quick result for me. To me, that was an instant manifestation because I literally fell asleep and then I woke up the next day to virality. So like things can happen quickly if you select in an effective way. But that's the first thing I do to manifest virality. It's basically just selecting the reality where I have already gone viral. In that particular example, I actually did it from a very detached place. Like I didn't need it to happen. I didn't have any need in my system. It was just like a realization where I was like, oh, I gotta select, obviously. And I did it and then fell asleep and woke up to the reflection. But if you're first starting off and just getting a hang of manifesting virality, my biggest recommendation is finding a way to detach from it. Just basically finding a way to not need it anymore. If you're naturally detached from going viral, then just keep selecting the reality that you want, like persisting in the reality that you want from a detached state. But if you're a little bit more attached to that reality, then find a way to switch it to preference mode. I go through this concept a little bit more in my detachment video. I'll link it above. But in conclusion, for my first way I manifest virality is I select the reality that I want where I've already gone viral. Now, the second way that I manifest virality is actually more specific, and it's more catered towards when I'm actually creating the piece of content that I want to go viral. And here's a little side note. If you're a creator in any capacity, you are actively creating content. So just keep that in mind. If you want your channel or your page or whatever to go viral, you actually do need to create content to go viral. Like if you just have a blank YouTube page, then you're not going to have the videos to go viral. And for each piece of content that you create, you can do the selection process of just selecting the reality where that piece of content goes viral. But for this particular step, I actually get a little bit more specific with my manifesting virality tactic. And I personally play off of the concept of everyone is you pushed out. Now, when it comes to any algorithm, there's only 2 goals ever: to get people to actually get on their platform and get people to stay on their platform for as long as possible. So if your piece of content can do these 2 things, then you will go viral. When it comes to YouTube specifically, that means that your goal is to first get people to actually click on your video. The second is to get them to stay on your video, watching your video for as long as possible. Satisfying these 2 goals creates a very positive loop for the algorithm because it sees that people like your channel and are continuing to stay on your channel and therefore stay on the platform, YouTube's platform. So when it comes to these two goals, you want to first get people to click on your video, which is very much dependent on your title, thumbnail, and video idea. And you want people to stay on your video, like watching your video for as long as possible. This is all about audience retention, being engaging, providing value throughout your video, and basically not wasting anyone's time. So keeping these two goals in mind, I practice manifesting virality through a combination of everyone is you pushed out and a lot of self-awareness. So for example, when it comes to goal number 1, getting people to click on my video, when I create title, thumbnails, and determine what the video is going to be about, the way that I practice this is I ask myself, if I were bored on the internet and I had interest in this particular topic or niche, would I click on this video? It is such a simple question, such a simple thing to do, but it yields results. Like if you actually sit and ask yourself, would I click on this video, and you're honest with yourself, you'll find that sometimes you may not actually click on the video or the title and the thumbnail that you created, or you may realize that you actually don't care about the video topic, or this wouldn't help you in this particular area of your niche. You may realize that you have a very unclear title, or your thumbnail is hard to see, or the picture isn't big enough on a small screen. And when it comes to the second goal of getting people to watch for as long as possible, I do the exact same thing. As I watch the video before I post it, I ask myself, is there any point in this video where I would click off because of boredom, because of lack of interest, because of feeling like the person's wasting my time, or maybe because they clickbaited me with the title and thumbnail? Being self-aware of your own piece of content is the secret sauce in creating really good content that not only you like to watch, but other people like to watch. Because here's the thing, your audience is you. Everyone is you pushed out. Now that's not to say that some random person on the internet isn't going to like your piece of content. It's not about pleasing everyone. It's about being self-aware enough in your own attention span and being able to apply it to your videos in a way that you like and that you would watch, especially from the perspective of you being tired or bored or seeking entertainment in some way on YouTube. Or if you're trying to solve a problem, like let's say you're Googling like how to fix a car or something like that. If you're trying to figure out how to fix a car and they're not providing you any value, like you wouldn't keep watching it, right? It's worth repeating that your audience is you. If you don't like something in your piece of content, or if you get bored with your piece of content, or if you're uninterested in your piece of content or the topic of your piece of content, whatever it is, it's more than likely your audience will feel the same way. These are two very simple concepts, but like I said, a lot of people don't do this. They're too busy focusing on what is the right way to do something or the wrong way to do something. And then there's people out there telling you that they have the secret sauce to the algorithm, or that you have to buy this extremely expensive course in order to master the algorithm, or you need coaching in order to understand the algorithm better. The algorithm has two goals: get people to get on the platform and get people to stay on that platform for as long as possible. If you can master that loop over and over and over again with your piece of content, you will go viral. You don't need an overpriced, expensive course. You don't need a YouTube coach. If you feel called to take action in those areas, by all means go for it. But for me personally, this is how I manifest virality, with these two very simple concepts. And these two things have literally gotten me multiple monetized YouTube channels, several videos that have gone extremely viral, like over 1 million views, and an accidental play button. I say accidental because I had never intended to get a play button, but because of how viral I had gone, the subscriber count had gone up enough to the point where I got a play button in under a year and a half. So just trust me when I say, if you can master these two things, you will master the art of manifesting virality. It really is just selecting the reality where you have already gone viral and believing it's possible for you, and practicing a certain level of self-awareness and applying it to everyone as you pushed out in order to get people to appreciate and like your content in the first place. If you are a content creator or a creator in any capacity, I hope this video helped. This is definitely a big area of my life, and I feel very confident in my ability to go viral because of these two things that I mentioned in the video. I may create more videos on virality and YouTube specifically for any content creators out there. So if you want to see more videos on this, let me know in the comments below. But that is all for now. Until next time, keep creating, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.